Hey everybody, Alex Kazora, SteelersDepot.com, back with some Pittsburgh Steelers news and analysis. Pittsburgh upset in their home opener, unfortunately losing to the Las Vegas Raiders 26-17 in week 2 at Heinz Field. Obviously, a disappointing loss. A lot of frustration from players and fans, and I'm sure you guys in the comment section, and understandably so. So let's talk about what happened on Sunday. Elephant in the room here, of course, are the injuries. I think we should lead off with what happened there, both pregame and during the game. Joe Hayden and Devin Bush inactive in this one with groin injury, suffered late in the week, showed up on Friday's injury report. And then in game, you lose TJ Watt in the first half to a groin injury, and Tyson Alualu in the first half, lead the first quarter to a fractured ankle, according to the PPG's Jerry Dulac. That's going to keep him out for the rest of the season. So all those losses are significant. Obviously, Alualu seems to be the most significant in terms of him being unlikely to come back this season. Maybe we'll get some more information later this week to confirm that. But man, he's been such a just titan in the middle, an Iron Man, so durable. Missed only 4 games in his entire 12-year career prior to today's injury. Battled through an MCL injury last year, missed 1 game because of it. Had an ankle sprain. The dude is so tough, but obviously this injury extremely serious and leaves a big void in the middle of that Steelers defense. Isaiah Bugg should become the starting nose tackle, although he's dealing with some sort of minor injury. He was trying to gut it out today as well, and Carlos Davis missing. So yeah, Steelers really beat up in this one, losing multiple key guys. Of course, did not have Stephon Tuitt in this game, who remains on IR. Cannot come back until week 4 at the earliest. So that's going to get a lot of the attention and focus. And to a degree, I understand that. But certainly, we got to focus on the guys who were out there in the place that were, generally speaking, not made today. Even with all the injuries, I think the defense did a pretty good job holding a talented Raiders offense at 26 points. A lot of that coming in the second half of this one. Shut them out in terms of the end zone in the first half, holding them to just field goals. But man, this offense has been really rough, and we knew it'd be a work in progress with all the newness and moving parts and offensive line upheaval and things like that. But it's not like baseball or basketball where you get a lot of time to kind of warm up to the moment and figure things out. You take the first 10% of the season and you kind of push through even if you have a slow start. It's a 17-game season in the NFL. There's not a lot of margin for error, not a lot of time to figure these things out. And this offense has been really poor, averaging 16.5 points per game. Had 16 in the first game. Another touchdown came on the special teams pump block against Buffalo, and 17 today. Really poor in the first half. One offensive touchdown in the first half of these games, and the defense has really been tested to keep the score down, which they've done to their credit overall. But with the injuries today, and eventually things kind of give out in the second half. So this offense has not been able to find a rhythm or consistency. They're struggling with the run game still. Really, no lanes for Najee Harris by and large today. They were really poor on first and 10. It leads to some third and long situations. This team is 9 of 24 on third down through the first 2 games, 5 of 12 today, 4 of 12 last week. That's 37.5%. That is not going to get you winning football for an offense that needs to be in more manageable situations to mitigate pass rushes with an offensive line that is not playing great with a good pass rush that the Raiders had today. And none of those things really happen. Had some turnovers and penalties, and Trey Turner gets ejected, so it really kind of snowballs on you. But until this game finds more of a run game, it's going to be hard to really evolve this offense to what the Steelers want it to be. Today, there was definitely an emphasis on throwing the deep ball, which is something we talked about throughout the week. And the Raiders play a lot of single high, so you're going to get some one-on-one chances on the outside. And, a hit and miss. You had a couple of those. One to Claypool, one to Deontay Johnson, but more miss than hit for sure. And it kind of still feels like that last year's offense of the only thing that kind of works is some of that quick game, some tempo type things. Second half, you're kind of trying to push the tempo and let them, call and have more control and kind of get rid of the motion and things like that. And that's the only thing that seems to provide any sort of a spark for this team. And even then, it wasn't that much of a spark today. So I think just overall, the lack of a run game, being poor on first and 10, puts you in, third and difficult to manage situations. And this offense certainly cannot have that. They don't have the line or the talent overall to be able to, play from third and 8 plus consistently. And that's a big reason why this offense has really struggled through the first 2 weeks of the season. Defensively, the game plan was obvious. Take away Darren Waller and force the other guys to beat you. And overall, they did contain Waller. I think he had 5 catches, 65 yards. He'd have a 25-yarder late in that game, which was huge. But overall, I mean, if you told me Waller was going to catch 5 for 65 and no touchdowns, I take it, and I still did. I still take it. But the other guys beat you. It was Ruggs, it was Renfro, it was even Foster Moreau, the number 2 tight end. that made some big plays. Ruggs, a 61-yard touchdown, where I think Witherspoon could have done a better job to stay with that, carry that thing, and stay hip to hip. But Minka obviously is the middle of field defender on that play, and he got caught on Waller on the I think over crossing route, and Ruggs got behind him. It was a really good concept there. I think a Mills concept, and so Minka got caught there. But that's a big play on 3rd and 10. It's a 16-14 game, so that is to me a turning point of this game. Even knowing the defense to me was better than the offense, still a big play allowed. That has nothing to do with injuries, or has little to do with injuries. Obviously, you could argue pass rush and things like that. Trey Norwood came on a blitz on that play, and just was a step slow. Kind of got bumped at the start of that snap, so that kind of had that domino effect of he gets there just a step late because he was a step late to start that rush. But yeah, this was tough for sure, no doubt about it. Special teams, do want to note Chris Boswell, 56-yard field goal, a record for Heinz Field. So kudos to him. Certainly a good environment. You're not going to make 56 yards probably in January, but if there's a chance to make them, it's going to be here in September. So kudos to Boswell, but I think people probably not focusing on that too much today. Some other odds and ends. I think Harris did a good job overall. First touchdown today. So that was good. A 25-yarder, which was big at the time, and I think he ran hard for sure and had a great stiff arm on Jonathan Abram. Probably one of the few really exciting plays about this offense today. And Deontay Johnson trying to gut it out, and he gets hurt on that last play of the game, which is super unfortunate. So he's probably going to battle knee injuries all year long, the way the season's going, unfortunately for him. But yeah, I don't want to ride this roller coaster too much. Get really high and excited about the Bills win. You get really low and frustrated about the Raiders game. So week 3 is going to be a big one for sure against the Bengals, AFC North opponent. I think everyone in the AFC North right now is 1-1. The Ravens game still pending. Recording this before I think they play tonight. But yeah, I mean, you don't want to get too high and low on the season. But today was a low moment, and this offense has to get better and fast, and this defense hopefully gets healthier. And we'll see what happens on Sunday. That'll be maybe a big litmus test for this season. One really good performance overall. You had one, pretty poor performance overall, and we'll see which direction this team's able to go towards. But certainly watching that injury report closely. Alu should go on IR, and it seems like he'll be out for the season. So Henry Mondale will get elevated, and Isaiah Buggs will become the new starting nose tackle. So yeah, tough one today. Understand the frustration. Again, I don't want to be too prisoner of the moment, but certainly it was poor today, and there's no getting around that. And you put blame really offense and defense, more so on the offense to me than the Steelers defense. But it's all got to get better, and they got to get healthier fast. And we'll see how fortunate they can be with getting guys like Watt and Hayden and Bush back. I think they'll play next week, but who knows? I mean, we'll have to just wait and see what happens. So I'm sure you guys have lots of thoughts on this game. Drop them in the comments below. We'll be recapping and analyzing and breaking down the film of this game, as ugly as I'm sure it will be at some points. We'll be talking about it throughout the week. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you guys again, and we'll talk to you soon.